Welcome to Licensing Basics Academy. Today we're going to be talking about step number 6, the pitch. Let's get started. Getting your marketing material seen. This is a very important step, obviously. Getting everything that you've spent the time creating in front of the potential licensees. So let's talk about who accepts product submissions. So finding inventor-friendly companies that will look at your idea. So how do you know if a company is inventor-friendly? So let's look at some of the signs that a company is inventor-friendly. So first off, do they have an idea submission section on their website? So if you check their website and you look for things like submit idea, inventors, things like that, submitting ideas, new ideas, you'll be able to find some companies have an actual submission on their website that you can submit products to. Do they have a person dedicated to outside product ideas? So in most companies that are inventor friendly, what we call open innovation companies, they have a specific person that's in charge of that department. When you call the company, does the operator know who to transfer you to? So typically when I call a company, I'll ask if they accept product submissions and who would be the person to talk to about that. If the operator doesn't know, then there is a chance that they don't have an open innovation department. So it's not the end of the world. You could still submit ideas to companies like that, but there's a lot more coaching and hand-holding when you deal with a company like that. And quick email response. If you send them an email asking them if they accept product submissions and they don't email you back right away, they probably are not familiar with it. So the first phone call. This call is to find out if they accept product submissions. So I recommend calling versus emailing. Calling gives you that instant information. You know, if you call the operator and you find out right away versus trying to email and wondering if the email went through. So I always recommend calling first. So here's the operator call script that I use when I'm calling a company for the first time. So it goes like this. Hello, I was hoping you could help me out. My name is blank. So my name is Ryan and I'm a product developer. I was calling to see if your company accepts product submissions. If yes, then what you would do is you would ask who would be the appropriate person to handle that. And you want to try to get their extension number. So the reason for this is you want to be able to call this person directly if they don't answer when you're transferred over. So a lot of times the operator is going to say, yes, that's, John Smith, I'll transfer you. Or they might not even give you a name, and so that's why you always want to ask for the name. They might just say, yes, let me transfer you. And if you get transferred without knowing who you're trying to get a hold of, who's in charge of that department, or without knowing the extension number, then in order to call them back, you're going to have to go through the same process again of asking the operator. And so it's basically just, helping you out when it comes time to calling back, because typically you don't want to leave a message, and we'll talk about that. So name and extension, just what I was saying. It's important because you need to know who you need to call back, and many times you're going to have to call them back over and over and over to actually get a hold of a person. So knowing who you need to talk to and their direct number makes this much easier. Leaving messages. Don't leave a message. So remember, at this point, you're just a salesperson and no one calls back salespeople. The only time it's acceptable to leave a message is if you have tried calling many different times without any luck. And in that case, you don't have any option but to leave a message. How to leave a message. If leaving a message is the only option, then you must give them a reason to call you back. Add a hook to your message that makes them interested in calling you back. The hook is most likely your one-liner. For an example, with my product, ArtSplash, when I was calling companies, this is how I would call them. And if I have to leave a message, this is how I would do it. I am a product developer. I have a new and innovative product that enables kids to create three-dimensional images from water. With your permission, I would love to send you more information about this product for your review. So as you can see, the one-liner is the hook. Hopefully they will be interested in how someone could create three-dimensional images from water, and that would be enough to have them give me a call back. So once you get a hold of the decision makers, this is the call script I would use. So good morning, afternoon. My name is blank. I am a product developer that developed a new and innovative product for the blank industry that I feel is a great fit for your product line. It blank, so that's where you would use your one-liner, which I just stated in the past script. With your permission, I would love to send you more information about this product. What is the best email address that I can send this to? Send the email instantly while they're on the phone. I just sent it now. If you don't mind, is it possible for you to check and make sure it went through? So with that, you're not asking them to drop what they're doing and look at your sell sheet to give you an answer. You're simply asking for them to check and make sure it went through the spam filters or whatnot. Make sure you got the email address correct, and hopefully they can check it. Many times they will look at it while you're on the phone, but don't assume that because they probably are busy and you don't want to be rude. So here's the actual example with me filling in the blanks. Good morning. My name is Ryan. I'm a product developer that developed a new and innovative product for the toy industry that I feel is a great fit for your product line. It enables kids to create three-dimensional images out of water. With your permission, I would love to send you more information about this product. What is the best email address that I can send this to? I can send it now. I just sent it now. If you don't mind, is it possible for you to check and make sure it went through? All right, locked and loaded email. So a locked and loaded email is an email that you get ready before the phone call. So as I described here, this is an email with your sell sheet attached that you preset before the phone call with the intention of sending during the phone call. So basically, you're going to have this email preset with a subject and attachment and a quick little message. And basically, the only thing that'll be missing is the email address that you'll receive once you talk to the person. So the purpose, for them to see the product while you're on the phone to get instant feedback. Like I said before, don't assume that they are able and willing to look at your sell sheet at this time. This is why you say, if you don't mind, is it possible for you to check and make sure it went through? This way you are not being rude and asking them to drop what they're doing to look at it now. So the script for the locked and loaded email is subject line. Many times I'll either put my one-liner or I'll say, product for your review, something, maybe the name of my product. Thank you for your time in reviewing my product that I called blank. So that's the name of your product. I have attached my product sell sheet that will help you better understand my product. Your feedback is much appreciated. Sincerely, your name, and don't forget to attach your sell sheet. So, like I said before, many times, they will look at your sell sheet while you're on the phone. You're able to get instant feedback and answer questions. But again, don't assume, and so they might look at it later. So that's where keeping records is important. Use a spreadsheet or a Word document to keep track of your contact records. Who and when you talk to someone, when you sent your sell sheet, when you should follow up, notes on what you said. So it's really important that you know who you've talked to, when you've talked to them, kind of the things that you've said. If you sent your sell sheet, if they said they were interested, you want to keep track of these records. Online product submission forms. I don't like online submission forms because you don't have a specific person to follow up with. You also don't know if your submission even was seen by anybody. Always try to submit to a real person, not a submission form if possible. You can also call and ask to speak with the person that is in charge of reviewing product submissions. So if you do have to submit on a form, I recommend calling later and asking to speak with a specific person that reviews the submissions. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it will, and you're able to get the feedback and follow up with someone. So using LinkedIn, to contact a specific person in a company is very powerful if you can actually search for that person by name or title through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, you can search for people, and if you can find them, it's also a great way to connect. Now I want to show how to search for a specific employee position. So for this example, we're going to use Google and the company name, in this case, Kong Company. They are a pet supply company, and the employee position that we're searching for is product manager. So this is how this would work. So in Google, you would type in the company name, and by using parentheses, you would type in the employee title, and then we would type in LinkedIn. So as you can see, it populated a bunch of employee names with a title of product manager. So we see a whole bunch of people that it has populated. You could click on each one of those and go to their individual profiles on LinkedIn. Or you could simply go to LinkedIn and search the company name. And what that's going to do, you could also search for a specific person if you know that person's name. But what that's going to do is that's going to take you to the employee company, or the company page. And from there, you can see this little link that says see all 155 employees on LinkedIn. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to the employee list of all the people that work for this company that have LinkedIn accounts. You can then connect with any of those. So in this case, we have Bridget Feiss, product manager. So we can connect with her. And once we connect, we're able to have some options. So with a free membership, you can only message first degree connections on LinkedIn. So to message Bridget, she would need to accept our connection request to make her a first degree connection to where we could message her. If we didn't want to wait for that, or if she never accepted it, then you could always opt to the paid membership, and you could use an InMail to message Bridget. That brings us to the paid memberships, the paid messages. So a premium membership enables someone 15 InMail messages per month, and LinkedIn currently charges $59.99 a month. So what I recommend if you are going to be paying for messages is to view the person's profile to see if they're active with posting. The reason for that is you want to know if they're actually active on LinkedIn. If they're not active on LinkedIn, there's a very good chance they will never see that message. So another thing you look for is how many connections do they have. If they have 3 connections, they're probably not active. If they have over 500, then they're probably fairly active. So your chances of them seeing your message are better. So don't waste paid messages, so InMail, on a person that's not active on LinkedIn. You don't get your InMail credits back for unanswered messages. So if you find that someone's not active, find someone else to use your InMail credit for. So the other option is searching for emails. Sometimes it's a matter of guessing. So knowing what the company formula for the company emails, like first name dot last name at company domain. So if you know what their formula is, you can sometimes guess what the email is for a specific person. Here's another way, skymem.info. So you can find actual emails for company domains and hope you get lucky with finding the right person. So another way is rocketreach.co. This is a website where you can search email addresses. It is a paid service. I believe the first 5 lookups are free. So in this case, I did a little demo. So the Kong company's email format. So you type in, the domain or the name, and you start doing some searching. Here I was able to find the person, Bridget, and from that we were able to find a potential email address. So this is not a guarantee, but this is what it could be. So it's just another way of figuring out what the email could be. You can also look up details. So here's a bunch of other options. It could be, these are invalid ones, but they do give you options depending on if it's in the system or not. Questions a company may ask. So let's talk about what questions a company might ask you when you contact them. A lot of companies will ask to send them your patent, prototype, and CADs. This is something you don't want to instantly send someone until you know what their interest level is. You should also have them sign an NDA before sharing this information. So make sure they're not just a tire kicker. So a tire kicker is someone that's just kind of maybe interested, maybe not, but they might not have really any intention. They're just looking to see if you're going to send them that information or not. But they're not possibly truly interested. So this is how I would respond if someone asked to me to send them my patent, prototype, or CADs. So I would say I would be happy to share this, share with you my blank, my patent, my prototype, my CADs. But first, I would like to have a better understanding of how we can potentially work together. Can we first discuss how you see a product like this fitting into your product line and distribution? I don't want to waste your time, money, and resources analyzing so that's where you would put your patent, prototype, CADs, if we are not on the same page. So basically what this does is it puts in the situation so the company can understand that you have their best interest at heart. You don't want to waste their time, money, or resources, because if you're not on the same page, there's no point in them looking at your patent, prototype, and CADs. And a lot of times they'll think that's fair, and so then it'll further the discussion a little bit further, so you can understand if they're truly interested. And that a lot of times will work. So manufacturing questions. What manufacturing process is needed? So this is something that they might ask you. It's good that you know a little bit about manufacturing, of how your product could be created. They might want to know the cost of manufacturing. And again, you can figure out cost by simply taking a product that's similar to yours, maybe similar manufacturing, similar things. And if you take the retail and you divide it by 5, there's a good possibility you'll be close to what it costs to manufacture. It's not an exact science. There's obviously different margins in different industries and products, but it's a good indication. So you take the retail, you divide by 5. Are you currently manufacturing? So a lot of companies want to know, are you currently manufacturing the product? So be truthful. Do you have a manufacturer in mind? So they might ask, if you're not currently manufacturing, do you have someone that could manufacture the product? Many times that when you're calling a company that is in that space and makes similar products, they already have a manufacturer, so it's not really necessary for you to go find a manufacturer, but they might ask that question. So answer these questions to the best of your ability, but remember, they probably have a better idea of the answers to some of these questions than you do. So remember, this is their profession. If they are selling products in this area, they probably know the answers to a lot of these questions, so they're just going to be asking you. So it's not completely crucial that you don't know the answer to some of these questions. Competitor product question. So how is your product different than blank product? So this is where your analysis and understanding, the different products in your space that are similar to yours and how they differ and what your point of difference is from them, how yours is better, is going to be very important, because if there's a product that's similar to yours and you call a company and they're aware of that other product, they're going to want to know, how is yours different? How is yours better? Why should they license yours when that product's already out? So you're going to need to know the market and know what products are out there. Point of difference is very important. So You need to know your point of difference. How is your product different and better than other products that are similar to yours? If there are existing products similar to yours, then you will need to be able to answer this question. So it's very important you do your homework. And that concludes step number 6. Coming up next, we got step 7, the deal. Learn about how to get a good licensing deal. Thanks for watching.